Hi there, my name is Sarah and I'm a certified outings leader with the Sierra Club. September is Trails Month, so all throughout the month we will be highlighting little known trails within Northeast PA so that you can get out and enjoy some of the scenic beauty in a safe and pristine manner. Now, we are in the middle of a pandemic, so make sure that if you go out in public, you have your mask with you at any time. I am currently the only one in this parking lot right now, so I feel it is safe to take my mask off and speak with you face to face. We are currently at Fieldstone Farm, which is a property maintained by the Pocono Heritage Land Trust. Now, Monroe County may not seem like a location that would have a lot of open space, but it has a veritable smorgasbord of hiking trails as long as you know where to look. Right now, the Fieldstone Farm Preserve is less than a mile away from downtown Mount Pocono. If I were to go out onto Devil's Hole Road and go back out to 940, I could walk to the Shoprite in Mount Pocono in less than a mile. And for those of you who do not have your own transportation, that's a great way to get out and enjoy some of the parks in this area. You can hop on the Pocono Pony and take it to the Shoprite in Mount Pocono and then walk down to Devil's Hole Road where you have your choice of hiking trails. We are, like I said, at Fieldstone Farm, maintained by the Pocono Heritage Land Trust. There are two other preserves on Devil's Hole Road maintained by the Land Trust as well. There's also a parking area for Gamelands 221, which has much longer hiking trails for you if you're looking for something to do for a whole day. Devil's Hole Road is named after one of the trails and one of the features in that game land, which is Devil's Hole. That trail is a little over 4 miles and very, very rough for the beginner. But the trail that we're going on today is only about a mile. It's relatively flat. There are some ups and downs, but if you aren't an avid hiker and you're just looking for something short to get out and then stretch your legs and enjoy the day, this is a perfect trail for that. The Kerms Preserve, which is also on Devil's Hole Road, has some longer trails, but it doesn't have all of the features that this trail does. So with that in mind, we'll start down the trail. I like going, let me switch this around. Oh, I can't. I like going this way and going counterclockwise out of the parking lot. You'll see the Wild Trout Waters sign. Woo, where is it? Right there. Because we will be hiking past Tank Creek, which is a high quality headwater to Paradise Creek. It has very good fishing, but it is only catch and release for trout. Any other fish that you catch, you are allowed to keep as long as they're within the legal limits. Now, make sure that if you go hiking later on in the year when it's hunting season that you wear bright colors. Hunting is allowed within this trail since it butts up to game lands. And Pennsylvania recently changed their hunting rules where you are allowed to hunt 3 Sundays out of the year. So Sundays are no longer safe for hunters all the time. I believe those dates are November 15th, 22nd, and 29th this year. So make sure that even if you're hiking on a Sunday in November, you are wearing your orange. You can go the other direction. It is a loop trail. So if you decide to go the other direction when you start, you'll go past the gate, which will take you along an old road to the foundations of Fieldstone Farm. We'll be finishing up our hike at the farm, so you will be able to see that later. We have just started hiking down the trail. As you can see, there are quite a few roots and rocks along the way, and there is a tree down right in the beginning. So there's a little bit of hard work, but it's not too bad. Oh, look at that lovely mushroom. That's a bright orange. We'll be walking past a lovely field of ferns. And here is our first look at Tank Creek. If you look carefully, you'll see some pipes sticking out of the rocks over here. In the late 19th century, the creek was actually diverted to a cistern south of here to provide extra water for steam locomotives coming through. There's actually a road rather close to here called Phoebe Snow Road, which, if you know your train history, is a advertisement or an advertising ploy for the cleaner burning coal trains that were coming through this later on. About a quarter mile up the trail, you will notice a stone wall as you cross over. And this is actually a spur trail. If you follow the stone wall up from here, you can cut through to the other side of the white trail, which, like I said, was a loop. Now, stone walls were traditionally a property divide, and back in its heyday in the late 1800s, early 1900s, this was a functioning farm. So this would have been the divider between one property and another property. You can see that we will be following the stone wall up a ways along this trail as well. It was most likely a way to stop any livestock from falling down into the creek. There is generally a wet spot along this section of the trail, so make sure to keep your feet dry and walk up and around. We're at about the halfway point right now, but we're going to take a side trip off the trail for a moment so we can see one of the sneaky parts of this trail. If you hike down the very well-defined social trail, you'll notice that it comes down to Tank Creek and some graffiti. Why do people want to carve their names into trees? The poor trees. But as we go down, you'll notice there's a lovely little open spot here and an easy way to cross the creek. Now, the water's a little bit high right now. Normally this is open and easier crossing, but we're going to go ahead and cross the creek. And follow the trail upstream just a little bit to find ourselves a lovely waterfall. Listen to that water. Look at those rhododendrons. So pretty. Okay. Let's see how close we can get to this nice little waterfall. See? Now in the spring, it is running really, really high. And as we go back onto the trail again, we will see the top of the waterfall. And here is our little waterfall from the top. Just upstream from our waterfall, you'll see a creek crossing because we have hit the 2 ponds that are on the 52 acres of Fieldstone Farm Preserve. Oh, look! Somebody was a busy beaver. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see some beaver chews later today. But as we cross over this nice little wooden bridge here, please be careful. This water may seem absolutely pristine and super duper gorgeous, but it is also very cold. This is a spring-fed creek and a spring-fed pond. So no matter what time of year, the water in this pond is a chilly 52 degrees. Don't ask me how I know that, but let's just say I have some first-hand experience. The water today is a little bit cloudier than it normally is, but we did get a little rain the other day, so that's probably why. Now this water is deep, deep, deep. Not quite sure how deep. But it's definitely one of my favorite hidden gems in the area. Look at that. Oh, look at that fishing line. Awesome. The last time I was here, there was a family of ducks swimming along. Now, this water, like I said, it's a stream-fed pond. We'll be continuing on where we'll see farther up on the spring there is a man-made swimming pool before you get to the ruins of the old farmstead. So we will head there next. Right above the old pond is the ruins of the man-made swimming pool. It's a little bit more swampy than it used to be, but you'll find some lovely seasonal favorites like some jewelweed, which is great for bug bites and stings and poison ivy and sunburns. It's an all-purpose northern aloe type plant. And if you were to continue along this way, you'll see a metal bridge that will take you across to the ruins of the old farmstead. Now you can go this way and explore the farmstead, or you can go back that way along the white trail, which will take you up and around, or you can continue on the blue trail, which will connect to the white trail after going through an old hay field. So it does get a little overgrown, and if you are not a fan of high grasses, I suggest taking one of the other routes. So here we are at the base of the old homestead. Sorry about the lighting. We're going to go up and around and explore a little bit more from the other side. So here we are on the other side of the old homestead. It's in pretty amazing condition for being as old as it is. It was built in the early 1900s. So it's a little bit older than me. Now, as you're coming around the other side of the white trail, it's a lot easier to hike. Oh, look, another human being. Now, at certain times of the year, you'll see lots and lots of wildflowers here, so keep your eyes open. Now that we're on the other side and the sun isn't in our eyes as much, we can see some of the wildflowers that we have gracing this old field in September. Seems like it's a lot of Queen Anne's lace on the one side. Then you go over to the other side and wha-bam, it's a field of goldenrod. Now, we did have a lot of milkweed here earlier in the season, but that's a little bit past its prime right now. And if you look in here, you'll see some multiflora rose, which is an invasive plant, not very nice. A little bit of wild raspberry. And also, I don't know if you can see because of the lighting, but there's some grapevines in there too. It is grape season right now, so maybe you'll get lucky if you decide to dive through all of those rose bushes to look for grapes. The last stretch back to the gate is a little bit more accessible to those that may have some mobility issues. So if you still want to go up and see the house, you should be able to fairly easily. It's less than a quarter mile back to the parking lot from here, and it stays relatively flat, if a little bit rocky, most of the way. So now we are approaching the gate and the end of our hike. You can see the gate up ahead and the way that we came are both fairly easy. And that's it. We've reached the end of our trail. Thank you for hiking the roughly 1 mile white loop with us today at Fieldstone Farm Preserve in Monroe County on Devil's Hill Road. You can find, that's Devil's Hole Road, I meant to say. You can find it at 512 Devil's Hole Road in Cresco. And it is right down the street on 940 from the 5 Points in Mount Pocono. Now, if you would like to explore any of the other trails in the region that are maintained by Pocono Heritage Land Trust, you can go to their website at phlt.org and have hiking trails and maps of all of the various locations around the county. If you would like to learn more about the Sierra Club in Pennsylvania, you can go to sierraclub.org/Pennsylvania. And if you want to know what's happening within the northeast portion of the state, you can either check out the groups tab on the website or go to our Facebook page, which is NEPA Sierra Club. Now, I hope you enjoy your day. Get out and hike. One last point before I go. Make sure that you go before you go. There are no facilities at any of the PHLT locations, and there are no trash cans either. It is a pack-in, pack-out location. So make sure that whatever you come with, you go home with. And hopefully you go home with a little bit more if you see any trash along the trail. Enjoy your day. Bye.